This training video is being brought to you by learningcomputer.com. Today we are looking at an Access 2013 tutorial, really how to create a Microsoft Access database from scratch. Okay. Now, what is a database anyway? A database is really nothing more than a collection of related data. So the key point is that there's a lot of other items that you can store data in, but what makes a database different than everything else is that it is related data. Okay, and it is different than storing data in, let's say, in a text file or a spreadsheet like Excel or any of those spreadsheets that are out there. Now, there are many kinds of databases that are out there, and I'll just highlight some of the popular ones. They are obviously Microsoft Access, Oracle, SQL Server, which is made by Microsoft, and the free internet database, which is MySQL, which is very popular on websites and whatnot. So definitely different types of databases out there. Now, within a database, how do you really store the information? Well, the actual data is stored in tables, okay? So, those are the objects in any database that store the underlying data. Now, within Microsoft Access, there are other objects also, including forms, queries, and reports. We are not going to look at those in this demo, possibly in a different one. Primarily today we are interested in showing you how to really create a customers table from scratch and populate the data in it. And then we are also going to create a related table, which is going to be the orders table, and then join it to the customers table. So that is that is our to-do list, I guess. And then a little bit more on the tables before I jump into the demo is, really a table, like I mentioned, stores information on a particular subject. Okay, so that is what's key about a table. For example, if you have a contacts table, there should be no other information in that table. Okay, similarly, if you have a products table, anything related to do with your products at your company will be in that table. So that's an important point to remember, that a table really deals with one individual item and nothing more. Okay, and a little bit extra elaborate on a table. It's really, a database table is made up of fields, which are also known as columns, and records, which are also known as rows. Okay, so the columns, they store an individual type of information, let's say social security number, a customer name, a phone, patient name, whatnot. Okay, now rows really store a particular instance of a table record. So let's say, like I mentioned, you may have a patient's table in a hospital database. Well, if you look at one particular row, that has to do with a specific patient. Okay, so they will have their social security number, obviously the name, address, date of birth, and whatnot. Now, another way to think of a table really is an Excel sheet, but let me look at the exceptions. But here's an example. Okay, this is, I'm using Excel. So here's basically what a table may look like. You have a customer ID that stores information. You can have a company name that actually talks about the name of the company, obviously, and then you have address related information. Okay, so this really, even though this is an Excel, but your customer table may look something like this. I'm actually going to close this. I just wanted to highlight that. Well, if that is true, well, how is Excel different than a database? Well, definitely in many different ways, but let me point two of these. In a database, a field in one table is really related to a field in another table, and we'll look at that in a minute. And also within a database table, it really enforces restricted control to avoid GIGO issue. Well, what is GIGO? It's garbage in, garbage out. So if you are maintaining, let's say, your data in an Excel spreadsheet, really anybody can go in there and change the data willy-nilly, and that's certainly not going to happen. If you create a database and put some kind of stricter, I guess, constraints and whatnot. So that's one advantage of a database, that it only allows specific information. So let's say if you're trying to enter a customer phone number and somebody types in alphanumeric, that will not work. Now another unique thing about a table basically has a primary, it's one of the columns as a primary key, which is known as PK, which really identifies a particular unique row. Okay, so if I go back to the patients table again, typically if you call the hospital, they want to know your social security number or a patient ID number. Okay, that particular piece of information really is stored in a column that is designed as the primary key. That way they can tell you from the next patient, or your name may match John Smith. There may be another John Smith in the table, so how do they know which one they need to update? Okay, so enough chatter, let's look at a demo. We are going to create a customers table in Access 2013. So I'm going to go ahead and launch Access 2013 here. I just want to show you a couple of quick things. Now you can obviously create a blank database, which is what we're going to do, which is this blank database option. You can certainly search for templates that are out there. Okay, and one option is also you may have information on your SkyDrive, which by the way, it's a new feature in 2013. We do cover some other features on Access 2013 in a separate video, so feel free to check that out. Okay, it should be on our YouTube channel, but let's just stay focused here, and I'm going to select a blank database. Okay, now as for the database, I'm going to call this, let's call it cust orders. Okay, and this is going to be stored on my local drive, so I will leave that as is and hit create. Now in Access 2010 and 2013, basically when you create a new database, it starts out this default table. I mean, it's a little confusing because you can see it created a table 1 and a field ID. I don't particularly like this, so I'm actually going to right click on this, okay, and select design view. And for the first table, we are going to call it, like I mentioned, customers. So let's do that, okay. And let's minimize this. By the way, if you haven't seen this, the ribbon looks different. And do this. Now here, what I'm looking at, this is the design screen for creating a new table. Okay, you have your field information, which like I said is columns. Right next to it, you have your data type, and we'll elaborate on those in a minute. Okay, and then you have description. So, and I don't know if I can move this a little bit. I'm using very low resolution, so everything looks huge. But anyway, let's go ahead and start typing in. Okay, I'm going to call this my first field customer ID. It is going to be a short text. Okay, description, I'll leave it as is. Now let me spend a minute on data type. Okay, data type basically gives you the option to select the data of what type of data are you storing. If it's some kind of date like ship date, order date, obviously it would be a date. If it's a phone number, you would want to store it like this. Okay, if it's a yes no type field, you would want to do that. So always pay attention to this, because not only is it going to help you with keeping good data, it's also going to help you keep your database manageable. Okay, so now I'm actually going to add some more fields here. Another thing, you notice that down here when I select short text, you have this thing called field size. Okay, that does matter. The default is 255. I'm actually going to use specific ones. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and finish typing this up. I'm actually going to pause the video and then come back, and we'll save the table and we'll enter data in it. So please stand by.